Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I'm going to be featuring a Briston. It's a chronograph watch. I think it's called a Clubmaster. My friend Adrian over at Somewhere in Time sent it over. Please go and check him out. Top man, one of the nicest people you're going to meet in your life, and makes outstanding videos. And like myself, the quality just keeps getting better and better as we become a little bit more proficient with the channel. Like anything, Rome wasn't built in a day. And with anything you do, even in your day jobs, you'll probably find that obviously the more you do it, the better you get. So it's one of those things. But yeah, I was interested to see it. He managed to get a really good offer at a store called TK Maxx, which is a store in the UK. Bit hit and miss in terms of what you can find in there, but you can find some proper gems at ridiculous prices if you look about in the store and if you go online. And he picked this up for naughty money, really, for what he got. I'm not going to say how much, but he did do really well. I'll try and find a link taking you to this watch. I believe it's now sold out at TK Maxx, but I will do what I can for you. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning back in. Your support is unwavering, and I'm very, very appreciative. And now, without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As I said in the brief intro, it's the Briston Clubmaster. This is the packaging that comes in. Just you've got a little outer sleeve. Cardboard packaging that also comes in, and then you're left with inside. It does actually come in a nice carry case, which is cool. Nice sort of material. I don't know what you place the material as, but it feels pretty cool. And this is the sort of booklet and stuff it comes with. If you've got time to read that, it's up to you. I haven't bothered. I don't tend to, unfortunately. What's this? This is the 2-year international warranty card. So you've got to use the QR code to register it and so on. Adrian's also left the gel in there so it doesn't get all moisture build up and a few stickers, and then you're left with, I'm guessing that's the model number, if you guys can see that. I've just called it the Clubmaster, if I'm honest, just because I couldn't verify 100% what the model number is, but that may be the one, so do be sure to use that if you can. But then yeah, that's the packaging. Not too bad. Yeah, not amazing. I do like the fact that they have put it on. They have included a travel pouch. I think that's really cool. I like having a travel pouch for my watches. At this point, I've probably got too many, but it's always nice to get them. And I'm sure Adrian will make use of this one for as long as he's got the watch. But yeah, let's have a look at the watch itself. So I'm sure you'll agree it's quite an unusual piece, given the case and stuff. But we'll run through that in a moment. But like I said, I'm just going to call this watch the Briston Clubmaster, just because, like I said, I couldn't 100% verify the model number, but that may be the one you saw a moment ago. The movement inside this is a quartz movement, so you'll see what it doesn't have though. It doesn't have a second hand. It does have a chronograph second hand, but I'll show you that in a little bit more detail. The construction of this is made up of stainless steel and also plastic. They do call it acetate or Italian acetate, but for the most part it is just plastic, and as my friend alluded to in his video, Adrian, it does seem to be the same sort of material they use to make glasses, but yeah, make of that what you will. The case thickness of this watch is, and that's not including the canvas strap they've provided, is 11.7 millimeters. The case diameter at its shortest point, not including the crown or the pushers, is 40.6 millimeters. And when you go from the 9 to the 3 and include the crown, it does become 44.5 millimeters. The lug width is 21 millimeters, and the lug to lug, tip to tip of this watch is 48.5 millimeters. Let me just undo the canvas strap quickly to show you the back. So that's what it looks like at the back. It looks as though, as again, it's stained. It does say on the back Italian acetate and stainless steel. I suffice to say that the parts that look sort of like a rose gold, they will probably be sort of PVD coated in some way, but it just gives you lots of different information about the watch. Again, it does give you that code, so again, that could well be what the model number is. But like I said, I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to give any misleading information. And the link that I do give you will take you to multiple variants of this watch, so just bear that in mind. But let's just put the canvas strap back in its rightful place, and we can crack on. So yeah, that's the case back. The bezel is fixed, and again, it is stainless steel with that sort of rose gold PVD coating on it. The crown is a push-pull crown, and it is signed. It does have the sort of, looks like a shield or whatever they're using for the Briston logo. That's what they've put on the crown, which is, I'm glad to see they've signed it. As I've already alluded to, the strap material is sort of like a canvas type strap, and it does have a pin buckle clasp, and on the fixed catcher closest to the actual pin buckle clasp, it does have Briston engraved on there, just so you can see that. The crystal covering that dial is a bit of domed mineral crystal. You're not getting sapphire at this price point. And just to say, the price normally comes in about £270-ish. I dare say my friend Adrian picked up a lot cheaper, but we'll talk about price in just a little bit more detail later. The water resistance, and I'm sure the eagle-eyed of you have spotted this on the dial, is 100 meters, so that would give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance with this watch. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 58.5 grams, so quite light, but obviously there is elements of plastic, so that's probably going to weigh a little bit less. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So what you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. In just every so at the 12, 2, 4, 8 and 10, you've got numbers or Arabics just denoting the time. Everywhere else you've got battens and smaller battens just to make way for the sub dial for the 24-hour and the chronograph minutes. But yeah, then below the number at the 12, the Arabic, you've got Briston. Let me just take the crown out just so you can see that in a bit better. I'll put it at sort of what I always do, 20 past 8. My favourite time on a watch, not because I'm at work, but because it just makes it easier to see, to be quite honest. So yeah, Briston just below the 12. Just above the 6, you've got the date window. I do like a date window being at that sort of position, just because it doesn't mess up the symmetry of the watch. Again, that's just probably my OCD talking, but I do like that. Above that, you've got Clubmaster, and just in between the Clubmaster and the date window, you've got 100 meters, which is also 330 foot. And if you convert it, like I said, let's look at the chronograph function now. So you press the pusher at the 2, the chronograph second hand will start moving along. You probably already noticed it doesn't line up. Obviously, I noticed that pretty quickly because that's the first thing I look for on any watch that has a ticking second hands as opposed to a sweeping. You're a little bit disappointed, but it is what it is. And then as you always do, if you press it again, it will stop. You press the pusher at the 4 o'clock position, and it will reset it. Given where that is as well, that will also go back to 60 just to allow you to start again. As you can see on here now, it is showing up at 20 past 8, and as you can see the sub dial at the 3 o'clock position, that would mean that it is 8 o'clock in the evening. That's not right, because obviously I've just changed it, but just to give you an idea of how the sub dials do work. But yeah, that's the sub dials. Bit of lume on the hands, or the minute and hour hand. I did try and do lume shots, but the lume was not very good, so it wouldn't come out very well. So I've kind of not going to leave a lume shot because there's nothing to write home about. But yeah, that's the watch, that's the dial. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference, and it fits me sort of, again, the best way to describe it is kind of sort of in the middle. There's 3/4 that way, 3/4 that way. Yeah, smack bang in the middle really for me, and that's what it looks like on my wrist. Not a bad looking watch, very unusual in terms of the case construction and stuff, but yeah, that's what it looks like on me. But now that will take me on to what I think is pants and pukka about the watch. As I always do, I always like to start with pants, as I like to go on a high with pukka. So what I think is pants, I'm not a fan of the case shape, guys. I know this is going to polarize opinion, but I don't really like square watches, to be perfectly honest. They're not really my thing. So the case shape, some people like it, but it's not really for me, to be honest. The second hand alignment of the chronograph, yeah, again, I think for second hands, I've had watches that cost £10 and they line up. So I don't understand why more expensive watches do. That's just the one thing that I would like them to get right on anything that has a ticking hand, to be perfectly honest. So the second hand alignment on the chronograph second hand is not very good, to be honest. The lume, as I said, I've tried recording it, but because it's so bad, it just doesn't seem to want to record. It looks very blurry when I'm recording it. So yeah, the lume, I'd rather them not put any lume on than lume that's so substandard, personally. The strap length, I think it could do with being a bit longer, to be honest. I've only got average size wrist, If you've got sort of above average size wrist, this strap is going to be a nuisance to put on. I'm not sure how my friend Adrian at Somewhere Time got on with it, but I know it seems a little bit short, the strap, and the lug width. So what I'm talking about, the strap being a bit short, but then they supply it on a 21mm case. So I don't know, 21mm, just for me it needs to be in increments of 2 personally, just because it makes it easier to source other straps. 1921s, they're a bit of a nuisance to find a decent one to put on your watch. But yeah, so they're the things I would say for now that I'd say is pants. So I'd go with the case shape, the second hand alignment of the chronograph function, the lume, the strap length, and the lug width in terms of what I think is pants. What I think is pukka, I actually quite like the dial. I think the symmetry of it's really cool. It doesn't look too cluttered for a chronograph, and for me that's my biggest bugbear with chronograph watches, is just they can be too cluttered, but this one seems to get away with it quite nicely. It's very legible. The functionality, you've got to always give it to a chronograph watch. It does have decent functionality, considering it's an analog. Obviously digital watches tend to have much better functionality, but analog watches not so much, unless they're chronographs, and this is doing pretty well. The 100 meter water resistance is actually quite a nice touch. I was surprised to see that I had 100 meters water resistance, to be honest, but it does have that. That's what it's stated as having. Probably not certified to any degree, if I'm honest, but still, that's what it says on. It's like Ronsil. It does what it says on the tin, so I'll take that. The fit and finish, generally, and the reason I'm saying the fit and finish is because if you could pick this watch up for sort of like £100 or less, I think you've got a good watch for the price. So yeah, the fit and finish and the price, but like I said, the price, I wouldn't pay more than £100 personally, guys. That would be my limit for this watch. So yeah, just to surmise, I would go with the dial, I would go with the functionality, I'd go with the water resistance, the fit and finish, and the price, because my friend Adrian did pay less than £100, and if you can do that, fair play, you've got a decent watch. And would I recommend this watch? I would. I probably still would. But like I said, it's all going to be down to the price you can get it for. If you're going above £100, I wouldn't. Less than £100, I would. So bear that in mind. Price is very, very relevant to what you're getting, really. If you obviously you've got to manage your own expectations based on what you're spending. So if you get it for less than £100, yeah, go all in. I'll go for it. But guys, let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.